Hello good people, Magnet B here, welcome to my channel. In today's episode, I'm going to screen share on legal jobs. If you have not watched the theory part of this episode, kindly link the link below here and watch episode 1, Introduction to Legal Jobs, and episode 2, The Basics of Legal Jobs. Before then, consider subscribing to be getting this content each time I upload them. Yeah, this is a review account, but I think you can see if I get to have a demo with you on the legal jobs, I think at least you can have a glimpse on how you should tackle these jobs. Let's see if we can get one legal job here. Yeah, this one is a legal job. So make sure you go through these guidelines and understand on what the guidelines requires you to be doing. So kindly make sure you read and understand the specific guidelines, so you can pause the video at your own pace and read these. You'll be getting these types of jobs in your platform, so I think already you know the requirements of this job. So I think we should go direct to the text itself, because I've read these guidelines and I've been reading them all through. Yeah, you click I have read and understood the guidelines, and then next. In this next, which is the correct transcription, the answer here is the first one. Eagles must start with a capital letter because it's a team. And then what is the correct transcription for this file? It's the first one. How do you report the court reporter? It's always the reporter, but some jobs can require you to call him the court reporter. Yeah, when a lawyer is asking questions to the witness about facts of the case, that is considered a QA. Good, and then we submit. And again, I would like you to know that legal jobs are just like these other jobs, in that some jobs can have a very good audio quality, and others, their quality can be really bad. So make sure when you take a job and then you try to listen to the job, make sure you take a good quality job, so that you can get a higher grade. So here's the audio tags section, the audio tags that you will be using. Don't use any other tags except the ones given here. And then make sure you open the notes section. Here, these are the speakers that we are going to encounter in this file. Yeah, and then these are the terms and requirements, the terms that will be more oftenly spoken in this file. So kindly, I think we should start this.
Appear to be fairly serious symptoms. Did you discuss these symptoms with your doctors?
I did.
Do you remember which doctor?
Whenever I went into them, I would tell them everything that was going on. So I believe any of them that I saw between 2017 and 2019.
Prior to 2017, did you ever have any memory or recall problems?
I did not.
Prior to 2017, did you ever have any mental fogginess?
I did not.
In this situation, I think you can see it's the attorney who is asking the witness questions, so that's why we're using Q for the attorney and A for the witness.
I did not.
And prior to 2017, did you ever have any problems focusing?
I did not.
Okay. When you complained about these cognitive decline symptoms, did your doctors prescribe any medication or treatment for those problems?
They did not.
Okay. Did they provide you a diagnosis?
Not.
Okay. Did they provide you a diagnosis?
I do not recall.
Okay. Has any doctor told you And by doctor, I mean an MD or perhaps the osteopath, Dr. Moss. The osteopath, Dr. Moss. Has any doctor told you that the cognitive decline symptoms you've mentioned to me were caused by exposure to mold?
No, they have not.
Has any doctor told you that the fatigue symptoms that we've discussed has any doctor told you those were caused by exposure to mold?
I do not think so.
Okay. And what about, has any doctor told you where?
In the guidelines, you could see that the requirements required us that when the sentence ends with so, we don't put a full stop. Instead, we use these two hyphens.
And what about, has any doctor told you whether your digestive problems that we've discussed here were related to exposure to mold?
I do not think so.
Okay. And what about the respiratory problems? Has any doctor told you that your respiratory problems were caused by your exposure to mold?
I do not think so, but I may add that doctors tend not to. May add that doctors tend not to speculate without proof. So when I told them that I was living in a moldy apartment and I complained about these things, it was all speculation because I didn't have proof at that time.
And you say doctors don't want to speculate without proof, correct?
That is correct.
And you say doctors don't want to speculate without proof, correct?
That is correct.
You obtained a mold report on your apartment and then went to sent the results to the Great Plains Lab. Sent the results to the Great Plains Laboratory. Did you ever?
Yeah, when you find a term like this, make sure you highlight and then you paste the link where you found this organization.
The Great Plains Laboratory. Did you ever?
I did not send them my results.
Okay. How did the Great Plains Laboratory get involved? Plains Laboratory get involved?
Oh, it seems the editor had already made that search, so no need for this one. I'm going to cancel it.
How did the Great Plains Laboratory get involved? Great Plains Laboratory get involved?
I ordered a test from there.
Okay.
I ordered a test from there.
Okay. And you received reports from both of those entities, correct?
That is correct.
Did you ever give those reports to your physicians at Kaiser?
Recall.
All right. Okay, would you go to page 13 to the response to form interrogatory 6.5? Response to form interrogatory 6.5. 6.5.
Can you repeat?
Yes, would you go to page 13 of your form interrogatory responses and
Yes.
look at the response to 6.5? And
Yes.
look at the response to 6.5? Is that your cat? Is that your cat?
Yes. She wants attention. Okay. I see it. 6.5.
Thank you. What is azalastine? It's listed there.
Where is that? What line?
22,
That? What line? That? What line?
20,
What line?
22,
I believe that that was an inhaler, but yeah, that was a nasal spray.
okay, was it a nasal spray or an inhaler?
I'm sorry, that was the nasal spray.
The azalastine was a nasal, azalastine was a, azalastine was a nasal spray, and who prescribed that?
I believe Dr. Stubb.
Okay. And do you know when that was prescribed for you?
I believe that was in August 2015.
Okay. August 2015, you said?
19.
Okay, thank you. I just didn't hear correctly. The Flonase we've talked about, do you remember when that? Flonase we've talked about, do you remember when that was prescribed for you?
I don't recall an exact date, sometime in 2019 or 18.
Okay, and what about the Ventolin HFA?
This one is good.
What about the Ventolin HFA?
That was 2019.
What was the Ventolin prescribed for, do you know?
I think it was for my lungs.
Okay, do you know what kind of a medication it is?
I believe that was my inhaler.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to Exhibit 4, which are a series of text messages. The one at the top of the first page is September 18th, 2015. Is this a series of text messages that you exchanged with my client?
That is correct.
All right, and it looks like there's a group of them in September of 2018, and then it skips to September 2015, and it skips to December 2000. All right, and it looks like there's a group of them in September of 2018, and then it skips to September 2015, and it skips to December 2015, okay? I want to talk only about the ones in September.
Okay.
Was this a series of messages initiated by Peter?
Yes, it started with his initiation.
Okay, and he was asking you if he could go into your apartment because water's leaking down from your bathroom to the unit underneath it, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and eventually it was determined that the problem was a leak through the caulking around your tub, is that correct?
That is correct.
Your tub, is that correct?
That is correct.
Was that repaired?
Not at that time.
When was it repaired, if ever?
I would have to look through the text messages to find a date. I'm not.
As you can see in this case, there is an objection in that one attorney is objecting the other attorney over the question that he was asking the witness. So to identify who this specific attorney is, you use Control J, and then here you can see this was the scheduling attorney who has been asking the questions, and then the interrupting attorney is this one. So you take Mr. last name is Mr. Gigi.
I'm sorry, a belated objection calls for speculation as to if it was ever repaired. I'm sorry, a belated objection calls for speculation as to if it was ever repaired.
Okay, do you know one way or another whether it was ever repaired, Ms. Rayo?
So here, when we are starting, if the attorney continues asking the witness questions, we don't use Mr. or Miss last name. We continue with the QA.
Ms. Rayo?
I do not know.
Sorry, same.
Another.
Okay, the last of the series of text messages, the last message was from my client. He said, we need to fix the leak ASAP because it's affecting the ceiling downstairs and it shouldn't take long. Thanks. Thanks. And you don't have any recall of ever having the repair made after that?
I'm reading what you just read to me. One moment. I'm reading what you just read to me. One moment. I don't remember him fixing it at that time.
Do you remember him ever fixing it?
I cannot remember.
Okay, fair enough. The next series starts in December of 2015. It looks like you locked yourself out of your apartment. And did Mr. Tong come by and let you in? Is that what happened, or? Okay, fair enough. The next series starts in December of 2015. It looks like you locked yourself out of your apartment. And did Mr. Tong come by and let you in? Is that what happened, or? Basically, what happened as a result of accidentally locking yourself out?
If you look on the next line, I explained that was late and I ended up calling a locksmith to help me
Okay.
unlock the door. He did
All
not
right.
respond.
Who did not respond?
Peter, my building maintenance manager, did not respond.
Okay, so you contacted him at 1:45 in the morning. And he responded at 8:30 that night. And you called a locksmith to let yourself back in? He responded at 8:30 that night. And you called a locksmith to let yourself back in?
Yes,
Did you change the lock or did you just have the locksmith open the lock?
I just had him open the lock.
Now, the next thing that happens, apparently in the middle of the night on December 23rd, it looks like you're having a problem with your gas heater, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
This is the end of the video. So what you do, you'll come here to the submission button and then click on submit, and then remove the inaudibles. It seemed they had left a space here. We have double space. It seemed they had double spaced here, so we move one space, and then here for it's okay. So we wait for the submission. I think we had found this somewhere. Let's use it. It's this one as the last thing. Yeah, it's good now. It's good. That's how it should be written. So this spell check sometimes is very helpful. This good. And so we are done. We are done with this job. So click submission, submit to clients, and then I rate this. It was not that bad, so I'm rating like this. Sure. Thank you for watching my video to the end. In today's episode has been on legal jobs. Kindly consider subscribing to be getting such updates whenever I upload them. Until next time, stay at home, stay safe, keep tuned. Bye.